Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're back for another session of Journal January, and today we are doing embossed and tuck spot, and we're going to have one page for the embossed, and actually 2 pages for the tuck spot because I'm going to show you how I'm going to work that out. All right, let me get everything set up for the first item, embossed, and I'll go from there. Okay, I had a girl send me these little embossed images for sewing ideas or sewing supplies or something. I have a button, I have a spool of thread with a needle, I have a thimble. Here is a form to put the dress on, and here is a ruler, and I think there's a pair of scissors. I think that may be all of them. Making sure I only have one of each. She put, oh, and a sewing machine. I do have a sewing machine. So we're going to see if we can get all of those on here and make a little kind of a display image scene, something like that. So as you can see, they're all white. So it may be that I go in here and spray them with one of my sprays, but I'd like to keep it antique-y looking. Also, after I've got them sprayed, and it'll probably be with a light color, I'm going to use this iced espresso luster on the raised parts. So those will pick up and stand out. I have a sticker here that we may put on there just for something different, you know. I'm going to use this like an old pattern form, and I like this arrow, so I may mix it in on here somewhere. And then I had this from somebody giving it to me, and I don't know if I can put that in the background somewhere just for something as, you know, some interest, some writing. And it's also got the same colors as this. And then I've got this, and I don't know that we'll be able to use any of it. I would like to try to stamp, especially this dress form image, and I really love the thread, the knotted thread. This is also the end of a spool of thread, and so, yeah, we'll see what we can do here. How much we can get on here. I hope it's not too much. And this will be the part that we're working on here, this front. And let me go ahead and get my probably collage glue. All right, I've pulled out my collage media mat, and that's what we're going to use. I've got some more of this on order. I know you're looking and thinking, you're about to run out of that. I've got more on order. I want to thank everyone for coming by, for seeing what we're doing today. I'm trying to mix in a little more mixed media to what I've been showing. As you can see, I've been really having fun with this little book and doing all these different things that, you know, will help me kind of branch out and try to do more things. Sometimes you get in a rut. You just get in a rut and you want to do the same old all the time. Or, that's just what you're more comfortable with and that's what you would like to stay with. That type of thing. So yeah, now I could have did this a little probably faster with a glue stick, but I want to make sure it sticks really good because I'm going to have some heavier product items on top of it that's going to be glued down. So we're going to make sure it sticks, and I'm trying to get that one edge really good. Let me put my brush down and let's see if we can get this one here. And I'll put it down here near the bottom. As close as I can. It's got a little bit of a wrinkle in it. Let's see if we can get that out. And there. This was one of my patterns for, and if it's a little wrinkly, that's fine. It actually adds texture and stuff to it. Now, as you can see, I've got a little bit of a place at the top that didn't get anything. So let's trim that off real quick and see if we can get that up there. I think it may be sort of drying, so let's put another strip of glue there. And I'll get this part in here with the dotted line. Yeah. Yeah, I've used this before. Actually, I've sewn pattern paper together before. And I took like, gosh, I don't even know if I got any around here I can show you. But it turned out really cool. I love how it looks. And you just take all the different ones. No, it was tea bag. I'm sorry, I'm telling you something different. But you could probably do that with this too. And sew like 3 to 4 pages together. And you would get, you know, enough to form a pretty strong background piece of paper that you might want to put in your journals. You can use all kinds of stuff, you know, just kind of think outside the box. If you're trying to get this pattern paper to float down into the trash can. I don't think I was successful. All right. Now I want to get maybe this arrow out. Is it going to be... No, it might fit. This one has to do with the grain line. And, you know, we got craft paper, craft colored, you know, background. So that's really warming that up. I really like how that's looking. And we'll add a little bit of the color when we go and spray. All right. Put that up here, I think is what I was talking about, putting it right across the top. I'm trying to have where my brush will go off onto my paper so I don't mess anything up underneath here. And I hope I put enough glue down. It might be that I didn't. We'll just go over top of it. And see, once you put another layer, it's kind of like you can use Mod Podge for this if you wanted, or, you know, like I said, glue stick is a possibility, but there we go. All right, let me go and clean off my brush real quick. Okay, we have this done. And if you notice, I didn't put any of the collage medium over here. That's because I'm hoping to stamp on a few spots here, and I only put the collage medium at the top. And I noticed with that other project I just done the other day with one of these Junk Journal Januaries, when the collage medium's on there, it doesn't always let you stamp well, or it doesn't take well, because you've created a slick surface. All right, this is my Victorian Velvet spray stain. I thought something feminine would look really good as a background color. And you don't have to shake this because it's just a spray stain. It doesn't have your solution like an oxide would. Did I get that tip right there? All right, I'm going to dry this and see if it'll take. It must have been sort of a coated surface. And that's why we've got, wiping my nose off, sorry. Why we've got such a collection right there. Okay, now we're going to work with our iced espresso and see if we can rub that along the top. I like to get some of that out of there. Let's pick this little one and see what we got. And see, I would like to have used a, what do you call it? Like a gold or something behind here. But the thing was, it would have not blended well with this iced espresso. It would have looked like it was the same old, same old. So that's why I chose this. And as you can see if I can get it up where you can see it. That's what we ended up. I got a little clumpy right there. But other than that, it's looking good. I need to smear it off my finger first. I think that's where I went wrong. So let's try it with a little bit of on the button. And I'm just trying to get the raised parts. And this is the part that has to do with embossed. So we're making the embossed work for us. I saw somebody that did something with a doily and a few other different things. They embossed some papers that they had dyed, and I really love the look of that. But I'm trying to just do different things, I guess you'd say. Now I'm not exactly sure where we're supposed to be picking up on this one, unless it's all of the top there. Maybe that is it. Yeah, must be that. The whole thing. I don't have enough on my finger, I don't think, to keep going. Now, I was talking about my artistic journey the other day and how I really loved horses. And that was the one thing. I could never get a horse. They would never get me a horse. So my way of having a horse was to draw one. So that's where I kind of came up with all that drawing in the first place. And so I know the little horses that I drew in my pad when I was over in the hospital weren't quite uh, uh, anatomically correct. Let's put it like that. I know I had just like stick legs kind of things, and I remember I was drawing them where they were up on the top of these mountain ranges, canyons and stuff. The stallion, he was standing up there looking at his herd and all kinds of stuff like that. So I was just like living out my fantasies through drawing, basically. But as I got older, I picked up, you know, like in the 80s, I think when I was in art class, is possibly when I started paying more attention to the conformity of a horse, especially the legs, what all was on the legs. Now this one didn't have as deep of a embossed image, so it didn't come out as well. So I have one item that I know I drew in high school, or painted, I should say, because it's a watercolor. And that shows, but doesn't have the horse's legs. He's actually in a field of poppies. And I'll show that to you here in a minute. And yeah, it was kind of fun. I just, I like watercolor. I mean, that's one of my favorites. I know we had to do acrylics and we had to do oil at one point. I did do an oil painting. And it was never my thing, though. I did oil pastels. I've got quite a few things. Now, I had these phases that I would go through. I had a phase where I did these people's faces. And, oh my gosh. And then I used to love fantasy and science fiction. And I still do. I don't know why I said I did, but I do. And back then, there was this artist named Boris Vallejo, I think it was. And he would do all these like warrior women looking things where, they were busty and had armor on and things like that. And I wasn't that great with the human body as yet, but I was trying. So I had come up with a few little things that I did with that. And then I had an episode where I did people's faces, and oh my goodness, it was just, and some of the people weren't actually people, they were like a mixture. Like I got this one girl, and she's part deer and part human. And of course, I named them all. I don't know why, but I wanted to name them all. So all of these things have a name to them. And I've often thought about making a journal for down at the shop that I would sell that has my art in it, but it would also be a journal. So it was, maybe somebody that likes science fiction and fantasy. All right, let me clean my finger off and let that dry just a tad, and I'll be right back. Okay, here is my little pony out in the poppy field. I'm guessing I did this maybe in 1980. I didn't have a date on it, but that's about when I feel like I did it. I don't know which other ones are going to pop up. Oh, I did a stint where I did my mom's cabinets with stencils. What else do I have in here? Here is my dear woman, Lori. I don't have a date on it, so I'm not exactly sure when I did it, but it was in the early 80s. And yeah, crazy looking things. Here was one that was done with that was with the oil pastels, and I had like just a black marker that I went over it. And that's Shangri-La. I guess, the place over in Tibet or whatever. Just crazy things that I would think up. Here's another one that was an oil pastel. What did I put on her? 85. Wow, that was up there. So, oh goodness. Here were some of those people that I did the kind of profile views on. I had one here that was Adam and Eve. Where was that? Right here. Yeah, there's Adam and Eve. So I combined her hair. Because why not? All right, let's see if we can start getting this thing together. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to put everything. And after I figure that out, I will see if I even have any room for anything else. I mean, this I'm thinking of putting down here as a background, and I'm going to have to trim that off if I do. So let me go ahead and put that down. Let's see. So about right here. Oops. Yeah, I would have a pad with me almost all the time. I remember sitting up on the bar, and I would be drawing while, I might just put that in the middle, like here, while everybody was watching TV. And there's this odd thing. I remember, sometimes I wouldn't finish an item I was working on. So I would put my book away and either go to bed or get to watch something that Dad went to bed. And then I got that on crooked, but I'm going to have to leave it. I would pick it back up the next day or whenever I decided to work on it again. And whatever was on TV at that time, it came back to me. Exactly what was on TV at the time that I stopped working. And it was the oddest thing. I never understood how I did it or why I did it. That kind of stuff. But it was very different. Okay, put a little bit of ink along the edge here, vintage photo, just so I can cover up that whiteness. And I've got a little bit here that has to do with the Butterick publishing company. So maybe I'll just put that up here at the top. Maybe like right up in there. That's the best place I can see. I was never much for, what do you call that, still art, or where you have like a vase or something there. We had to do that in art class, and that was not my favorite thing to do. I have a few of my photos where I've done that, of my pictures, I mean. And yeah, I was not a fan. Not a fan. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that one there. I'll keep thinking this out, though. I don't think I'm going to get everything on here. I've got a pair of scissors, so I don't know that I even need another pair. But maybe something like that. The sewing machine, I'm not it's crazy about, because it didn't have that much. I might leave that one to the side. Now this one here, I may put that one down along here somewhere. You always need a measuring tape. And then I have a thing, a spool, and it sticks out, so I'm going to have to maybe stick it down here at the bottom. Maybe this one can go up higher. I'm trying to figure out if I can fit in my thread here. I really want to get that in there. I don't think there's going to be room for anything else. I may even get this thread end to get in here somewhere. But we have a thimble. That might go good right up here. And then I have the button that might just go in the center. That might be the best place for it. So let's see. The best place for my thread looks like it may be like right along down in here. As you can see, wow, that's a long thing of thread. Maybe I'll do that on the edge. Maybe this can go in a little farther. Maybe something like that. Yeah, that might work. Okay, let's get our thread out here and get us some black ink, and we're going to put that on a stamp block. Okay, let's get our thread ziggy-zag in here. I'll move this out of the way because it's going right along here. Oh, I had that other stamp block right underneath of it. Whoopsie. And let's see. Good enough. And then here's the top of a thread spool. I really like it as well. Or is it something to do with a sewing machine? Now this was going to go right in here, I think. So actually, let me just go ahead. I don't need that address, so I'll push that up. And maybe put that right in here. Yeah, just like that. And if you're interested in which one this is, it's one of those mixed media packs. And it's got, you know, the stamps and the stencil. But it's THMM142. So there you go. And what we're going to do next is glue down our goodies. And this page will be done. Now, I do have a little bit of an issue with the, I guess, the glue that came around from the other side. That's possibly making a slicker surface, because I do notice there's a little bit of a bleed. Sometimes you see a bleed, you know what that comes from. Yeah, I wanted the publishing company to show here, so that's why I'm going with that route. And then we put this down up here on top. It's kind of cool. It's talking about patterns and things. See if we can get the scissors in here where we can still see Butterick. I remember only Macaw's. Oh gosh, there was another one. What was that other one? I used to have to fill the patterns up when they come in back in the when I worked in the craft department. But I do remember. Let's see if I can pull. I'm gonna have to trim that off. I want Butterick to show. But yeah, there was a cheaper brand, and I'm trying to remember what that one was. It was always fun to put the patterns and stuff away. You know, they have a number on them you go by, and you just kind of go by what it says. It's kind of like a puzzle. You know me, I love puzzles. Any kind of puzzle. I still play jigsaw puzzles on my phone, but not as often as I usually do. I used to do the realistic puzzles, you know, but I just don't. Not anymore. I remember one we did. It was a bear. Now, I see you doing them a lot, Bernice. You do some beautiful puzzles, and boy, you put them together fast, too. I recall a bear head, a black bear head. And then you barely could see his eye. And then you barely make out his mouth and his muzzle. But that was so hard to put together. I could not believe how hard that was. I got a little bit of a... It's not sticking down there. So, yeah. It was one of those things. I remember it took us so long to get the thing together. And my husband was helping me. It was just all the same color. And you had to do the thing where you looked at the edge of the puzzles, you know, to try to match them up. And you prayed that they had a little bit of variety to them. I've seen some of them where they're just all the same thing. All right. I kind of want to put my bird in here. I like that little bird. Thinking maybe I'll put him over here. I don't exactly need to see the scissors because it's like a given. Maybe like that. I don't feel like that'll hurt anything. Okay, let's get this off. Well, is that coming off? I thought it was a sticker. I'm not getting sticker out of this. But it's shiny. Okay, I'm having to give up on that bird. I'm going to just glue him down as he is. I cannot figure out if he is a sticker or not. But, I mean, I pretty much assumed he was. Usually if it's not, it's just regular paper on the back, right? But this is shiny. Okay, that bird surprised me. All right, I'm putting him over here. Maybe I'll put him right here. I want to see dressmakers. That's another thing I wanted to see. And you can still make out the bent shear, so there we go. We'll just do like that. Just like that. And he's just in here to make it fun. But he had the pinky kind of breast on him, and I thought that would be cute. All right, our last thing to do is cut off this, because this is excess. All right, so that is our page. And if my sewing machine had been working, I might have sewn on this a little bit. But this is our embossed page. And you can see the embossed, or the luster glaze that I put on there. That helps that stand out. Okay, now on to our next assignment, which will be tuck spot. So I really wanted to do something different for a tuck spot. And I'm trying to remember where it's going to be in the journal here. So this one's here. So he's going to be here. And it's going to expand across the whole thing. That's the thing. It's going to be totally across there. And what we are going to do is this great big butterfly. He's Perspective Butterfly. And it's 665201. And you got this humongous die. I mean, it's large. Let me see if I can get my ruler out here so I can measure it for you. But it's like 5 1/4 down to his little tip of his thing. And from wingtip to wingtip, it's 6 1/4. So it's big. So that's why I had to decide to make it on 2 different sides here. Well, It's also a pain to cut it out. I mean, you cut it out and then you just got to knock out all these little excess pieces and stuff like that. So, yeah, I didn't think I wanted to have you suffer through all of that. So I went ahead and did that. So I got that done. And I cut it out of this, which is mixed media black. And I got it at Walmart. It's Canson. And it's a pretty good thickness on it. I've got all these little scrappies in here in my little thing to keep, to cut other things out with as I go along. And what we want to do first is we're going to spray this butterfly. I want him to have, he's going to be a rusty metallic. That's what we're going for here. We're also going to use foundry waxes. I've got 4 different bottles here. I got one that's almost the same kind of color as that. But we're going to mix and match them. And then we're going to use grit paste. And grit paste makes a great rough surface for you to have with any kind of a rusty design or sort of a textural element. And we're going to shake this up because we're trying to get all of the goodie out of the bottom down in there. And then we're going to spray this. And make sure I don't have anything in the way that's going to adhere. Alright, let's see what we can do. You want to spray it because you want to get all your little mica elements floating around so they'll come out. There. That ought to be enough. And you always want to wipe your nose off to get that out. Alright. Now, I'm going to go over here and heat gun this baby, and I'll be right back. I moved you down a little bit so you can see better. The color I used here, the mica stain, was Burning Ember. It's a really pretty color. I think it was one of the Halloween colors, so I don't know if it's still out there. A lot of times when they're trying to get rid of product, you'll find where they'll have it, available still. But we're going to go in here and grab us some from the bottom. It's probably starting to dry up a little bit. I've been bad. I don't like cover it. But all I'm doing is kind of smearing it around. You see it's picking up the product. But I'm just kind of putting it here, there, and just building it up and giving it a little bit of a rough area in spots. And, yeah, it's going to give us that rusty appearance. So you just kind of go around. You don't have to have a rhyme or reason. Now, the beauty of this is going to be seen when you heat emboss it. Because when you heat emboss this type of thing, it bubbles. And it gives you even better, rough surfaces that look natural. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, I'll probably heat most of it, and then I will come back. And you can let this to dry naturally, but why pass up on having a cool effect with the heat gun? And maybe I'll see if I can do one, and then I'll heat it the rest of the way. Yeah. And you want to get it in different spots, just so it doesn't look like it's all in that one area on the outside edges. Okay, that ought to do it. Okay, so I've pulled it up off of there because it will stick if you leave it there. And we're going to go ahead and heat emboss this. And you're going to be able to see, especially right here at his head. Now it's going to dry it, but it's also going to be taking and bubbling it. See it bubbling? It's baking that baby. See? Woo! There we go. And it just gives it a real natural, kind of rusty appearance. And of course, you're picking up the color of the mica spray behind it. So, and I can hear it snapping and cracking and popping. That's so cool. I got a big wad here. Let's see what it does. Now, if you use a distress paint and you pick up one of the metal ones, bronze, silver, whatever, it will do the same thing if you heat it. So this is, let me see if I can do this end here, and then I'll do the rest of it. Actually, I got another one in the wings in case this is going to take too long. So, as you can see, it even singes it a little bit. But I'll leave this over there, and I'll show you the one that I finished. Ooh, gosh, I can smell it too. I can smell it. Oh. All right, so our next step. Now, this is the piece that's the negative. That's the one that it came out of. And so what I've taken is and drawn this around here. But all I'm going to do, I'm not going to do any nitpicky to drawing. And it's on this really pretty piece of, yeah, pretty piece. And I'm wondering if it's actually going to be working out right. Well, that's right. Yeah. If I go around the outside edge, it should mimic the other piece here. I was just thinking, you know, I'm going to be going and I'm making a tuck spot here. So I want it to be kind of smooth where you're going to tuck it in so it's not going to be a pain. And we also, since we're going in the middle of this page, I need to concentrate on actually cutting this whole thing in half. Okay, oh, there we go. Looks like I was cooking something in here. Good grief. Alright, do that. Then we'll come around this way. Alright, let's see if I can round off here. There. I'll keep a couple of these in case I can use them for something. The skinny ones I can't. Oh my goodness. There. So, what we want to do is turn that around now. But we're not going to hook it to this yet. We still have to take our foundry wax and do something with it. Now, foundry wax has also got a ball in it. And I've got the 4 colors. I've got Gilded, Sterling, Statue, and Mind. Mind is the one that looks really close to this. But I don't know if I'm going to use silver. Okay, that one just might not work. But I will use the other 3. So let's get... Now what you want to do is usually use a brush. And let me see. Okay, so I've shaken that up, and I think it's good to go. We're just going to dribble this a little bit on here. If you put too much, it dries quick, and you might waste some. So get on here and start dabbing it on pretty much as soon as you get the brush in it, because it will dry quicker than you know. And then it turns to dust. Yeah, see, it's already dry. So I think I picked up a good bit of it. Yep, see, it's gone. That's it. Now, if you put it on a piece of paper that you're able to use at a later date and do something with, then that's good. And you always want to put the lid back on. Otherwise, you're losing it. But this is called foundry wax, so it has a nice metallic look to it after you... Look, it's already dry. After you get it heat embossed. A little bit on this side. get that painted on. And we'll add more detail with the other two colors, because they'll be like highlight colors as you get in here. Okay, goodness gracious. I thought I was going to get it all on here, but I don't think I am. Oh, I might. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Now I will clean my paintbrush off real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll heat emboss it. Alright, I got my heat gun, and we're going to start heating this baby up. It's already got kind of a cool effect. See that glistening? That's from that grip paste. But see, it's turning metal into metal. Isn't that neat? And the grip paste gives you the texture. I gotta watch my hand that I don't burn it. Ooh, that was a little close. Yeah, it even bubbled. Well, that's the grit paste bubbling back up again. But, oh yeah. Now the other one I'll probably use for a steampunk journal that I have in the future to do. Let's get this turned around here. Whee! There we go. See, it's kind of dull until you hit it. Now, I didn't get any on that one, but that's okay because we got some other colors to use here. So, see, it looks so much like the one, the mica spray that I used before. Now, we're going to get in here and use statue this time to give us a little depth and glistening variation. And then that will be like for a shine kind of an element that may be just the top edges or something. Now this is statue. I think I got it going pretty good. Okay. And we're going to get in here and just kind of dab. It's not going to be where I'm going to do a definite spot. I'm just spotting it. So it's not thought out. We'll put it like that. It will just be in spots to help give variation. Am I going to get it? The whole thing? Oh, I just think I did. Okay. Don't know that I got that much on this little patch, but oh well. Okay. Another rinse of the brush. Alright, and now we're going to go at it with the heat gun again. Ooh. See, that's adding you some shine on there now. Now, you don't have to do all these colors. I'm not been using this foundry wax, so I need to use it up. Your product only lasts for so long, and then it kind of goes. Okay. And when now I didn't get any right in there, but that's okay. I'll add the other color in there. Now, you may look at that and say, I don't like that. And I'm looking at it and saying I'm not that crazy about it. I like the other color better. Oh, well. We might come in and brush back over it again. I do need to put a little bit of a glow in that one. Oh, that squirted out the sideways. I might have had a booger in there or something. It was not coming out. All right. How about I just kind of do the outside edges or something? with this one instead of trying to go inside. Let's do that. But I might come back through here again with that darker red and fix things up a little bit. All right. Do I need a little bit around these little tail? Okay. Any right in here? Or his head? All right, we'll see what we got there. Now I'm gonna, before I heat this, I'm gonna actually go in there with this other one again, the one I liked. And we're gonna see, this is the Mind. And I'm gonna dab back over those spots that got, they just don't look right to me. And maybe these two together, when they heat, will make a better look, is what I'm hoping for. Yeah. I think this might be a lot better for me visually. All right, I need a little bit more. Okay, I don't like... Ooh, I got it on my pad. I was holding everybody up. Let go. There we go. Get that up before it dries. Oh, and this is drying. Okay. I can't remember which one I was dabbing in. Oh my goodness. Okay. Where did that go? There it was. Okay. All right, let me go back over it now. All right, let's get to it. See what we got this time. Pick it up and heat it over here. That looks good on that edge. It's kind of like a shine. Whew. Okay. That one gilded, I think it is. It's a really shiny one. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and do this so you can see how that reacts. Ooh. But I might be able to use that to cut something out, just so it's not a total waste. Alright, so what do we have? Let's get the heat gun out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our piece onto here to back it. Ooh, kind of cool. Kind of cool. Look at that. I like that. Now the painful part is the gluing down process. There's so many little pieces and parts to glue on here. So I'm going to do this off screen. I got to go over everything with glue. And then I'm going to put it down here and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is our butterfly so far. But remember, we got to cut him in half. So I'm thinking the best way to do that would be with our X-Acto knife, hopefully, and our Tim Holtz ruler. Because we want to try to get right down through the middle. But I got a big clump of paste, grip paste right there on his little tailbone. And we're hoping I can cut right through that. There we go. All right. crisis averted. Right. All right. We got our 2 sides of our butterfly. Now, what we need to do is see what we're doing with our background. And I thought to use a little bit of this to give you a little bit more mixed media look. And this is just some bubble wrap, like a mailer, actually. Some it says stamps. But it's got a smooth surface on it, but you wouldn't believe how much this will actually give you a texture. You know, picking out my papers over here real quick. All right, so this can go to the side. And we're going to go in here, and I'm just going to kind of do a little bit here and there. I need a piece of paper. So let's do this and see what we can come up with. I'm going to actually dab it in the, I think the vintage photo, and see what comes out that way. And this is just vintage photo oxide. Oh, did it do anything? Or did I smear it on there last? I'm trying to remember how I did it last time. Or is that just dried up? Don't tell me that's dried up. Let's see what I got. Maybe it's the color. Maybe we need to go with Distress Ink Scorched Timber here. Let's see what that will do. Can I even see it? Oh, maybe I need to dab. All right, let's dab at it. Let's see what we can get. Get out there. Ooh, there we go. There's something. So we'll do a little bit up here in this corner. There. It's just giving me something on here. Let me go in with a different one and see if it'll actually come off. A little bit came off. But it's just to give us a little bit more to look at. I'm going to actually do some stamping on the background, though. So a little bit of that's going to be done. So I didn't want this to be too deep in color. All right, maybe a little bit over here to combine those together. All right, I think that's good. I have to see if my vintage photo's all dried up. It could be, for all I know. Oh, how sad. Okay, so now, that's just something that you can use to make yourself a background with, and you don't even have to spend anything. And here we go. We're going to get in here, and then this is going to go in this way. These are my tuck spots, and they're going to go across here. Ugh, I kind of got a nasty right there I'm not crazy about. Let's get back in here with this thing and get rid of that. Better. Much better. All right, so yes, this is going to go right here in the center. I got to do some stamping, and that's going to go in here like that on both sides, and there's going to be a tuck spot on both sides. But we got some decoration we want to do in the background. So we want to have some of these little butterflies back here. And I think I was going to put this strip on this side. Let me see if I can get these out real quick. Now this one is called Papillon CMS 106. All right, how did I say that? Did I say that good? I'm practicing on my French. It has not been coming out so well. Okay, so I'm using my VersaFine Onyx Black pigment ink to go over this so you can see it really well. So yeah, it's just going to go right here. You might not see all of that little butterfly, but that's okay. but I just wanted to have more butterflies. So he's not lonely. There we go. That looks good. And then I've got a flat one over here. I don't mean flat. I mean like in this direction on this side. And he's going to go on this side over here. Let me get that out of the way. And I have a phrase from this over here. This is a layering stamp. And I've used it quite a few times. And there we go. And I don't know, but I may want to put this little New York and Paris and all that kind of stuff in here, since this has to do with Paris. Talking about papillon and butterflies. Let's stick this up here and see what we can get. There we go. It's kind of neat to have something in the background, you know. And then my next item is the phrase. And I need to get that out of here. And this is something I think I got at, it's Hero Arts, but I got it at Hobby Lobby. And you'll take a different color for each one of these butterfly forms, and starting from that one and going down, and you create a butterfly, and it's really cool. But I like the sending butterfly wishes on this one, so maybe I'll just use this one. It's small enough, and we're going to put that up here. I was going to put it up there at the top. Let's see what I got here. Will it be dark enough? Let me see if I got a background paper. Alright, I found a little piece of tea dye paper that I had used before, and I had it over there on my scrap pile. And I think we'll use that, because it needs to be against something. I need to rip it. I want to rip the outside edge. There we go. Sending butterfly wishes. And I'm going to blow it first. But we're going to rip the edge and maybe even ink it. Maybe ink it with my vintage photo. There we go. This one side's a little pointy. Get rid of that. Yeah, let's get in here with my... This is just vintage photo ink. I know that one works because I just filled it the other day. But we got a grungy kind of vibe going on here, you know. So we want to continue with that. And sometimes you can bend them and run your ink across there and give yourself some little marks. Like it's kind of folded. Yeah, maybe one this way. Okay. Maybe one this way. There. That's better. That makes me happy. All right. My glue. Get the glue in here. And then got to get our two sides down. And then we got to put it back in our little journal. All right. So this one could go here. Kind of wondering about putting it here. I think I'll put it here. All right, now what I wanted to do here to connect these little guys, I just want to get them right there in the center, and it's only going to be glued right in there. I'm wondering if I need to use fabric tack. I'll use this, and then if it comes to a point where I think I need to use fabric tack, I will tell you that on the next video. But this is going to be the tuck spot. Ooh. And I probably need to glue the whiskers down. Well, antenna. So let me put a little bit right there. I didn't put any under this one though. See if I can get that to go down. And then this needs to go right here. That's right on the money, right? I can't get it too close because that's my spine, you know. And if he's close enough, he will look the part. Okay. When we put him in the book over here, we'll see how well that reacts. Okay. Now. So, let's get our pieces and parts back in here. And this goes inside of here. There. That goes there, and that goes there. Okay. So, we can definitely mark off that we have done our embossed and our tuck spot. Now the next two, hidden and antique, I think I'm making them the same page. I'm going to blend those two together. But that will be for another day. All right, so we have our embossed page, which is kind of pretty across from here because I had the pink and I have the lady and some of the tones are over here. So that's why I went with the colors that I went with on this page. But that's how it turned out. I don't know if you want a closer look. See how that did. And then over here is our other page. And it's together just like that. We have our butterfly kisses. Paris, New York, and London. And our little butterfly down there. And our other butterfly there. But I really like how that turned out. And of course it's a tuck spot. So something is going to be able to be tucked underneath of there like that on that side. And like this on this side. Although my whiskers kind of in the way. But that's okay. Let me see if I can fix that. There. I think that loosened it up a tad. Or did it? Oh, what happened is my glue seeped. That's what's holding me back. It seeped all the way over here. So I can probably go back in here and put a little bit of extra glue. And it'll tuck correctly. All right. Well, I thank everybody for coming to visit. I hope you enjoy this metallic grungy page that I did here for the tuck spot. And everybody, I hope you take care, all my subscribers and viewers, and come back again and check out what I'm doing next. Bye-bye.